This episode is brought to you by Clear Peak Fertility. Clear Peak Fertility and Wellness is the Denver area's newest clinic for inclusive fertility care. That means they support every person's path to parenthood. From fertility consultations, diagnostic workups, women's wellness exams, weight loss support, and treatments like IUI, including donor sperm, they focus on the whole person. Discover expert, compassionate care at clearpeakfertility.com and schedule your consult today. Oh, and if you get in touch this February, Clear Peak is offering a $50 discount on new consults to our listeners. Just let them know you heard about them on CityCast Denver. That's clearpeakfertility.com. This episode is brought to you by the Denver Art Museum. Kick off 2025 with an unforgettable night at the Denver Art Museum's first Untitled Artist Takeover event of the year. It's happening on Friday, January 31st from 6 to 10 p.m. Experience a vibrant night of art, performances, hands-on art making, a pop-up bar, and unique experiences led by local artists Sarah Darlene and King B, plus a whole host of contributing creatives. Untitled Artist Takeover is included in general admission and free for Denver Art Museum members. Reserve your tickets today at denverartmuseum.org. That's denverartmuseum.org. Today on CityCast Denver, it's time for the shortest month of the year, for Valentine's Day, for Black History Month, and for all kinds of wintry mile-high fun. And we're back with our monthly guide full of expert tips and recommendations for how to have a February in Denver to remember. Today is Thursday, January 30th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Producer Olivia Jewel Love, hello.
Hey, Bree. How's it going?
Good. Producer Paul Caroli is also with us. Hi.
Hey.
So it's February, the month of love, and we are talking about what to do in February. But one of those things could be, before we get into our list, is buying tickets to Heyday, our big event that happens in March. But you can buy your tickets right now. Paul, what are you excited about with Heyday?
There's so many things I'm excited about. The one I was thinking about today was the keychains.
Oh, they're
the
so
little
cute.
motel style keychains that I believe are only going to be available to members. So
members
this would be
only,
a good
baby.
time to sign up for the CityCast Denver membership if you're going to go to Heyday, because you get the keychains and you also get, a little extra special something, insider access just for you. Inside the world of CityCast Denver.
And you get a discount on tickets, so don't get your Heyday tickets till you sign up to be a member. Go to membership.citycast.fm, sign up, become a member. You can support us that way, and then you get access to discounted tickets to Heyday, which happens March 8th. And like Paul said, you get this really cool keychain.
Hold on. Everyone gets a keychain.
Oh my God!
Members get even more. Members get a complimentary CityCast Denver beanie.
A beanie.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
March is prime beanie time.
So
there's so much great stuff happening at Heyday, I can't even keep track of it.
Jeremy the Balloon Guy.
You can go to heydaydenver.com and learn more about who all is going to be there, including the Balloon Guy, King Penny Radio, Ballet Folklorico, carnival games, delicious food, all kinds of stuff. So we'll put a link to that in the show notes. But let's get on to other stuff to do in February. Again, it's the month of love, but I don't even think we're necessarily going to be talking about Valentine's Day. There's a ton to do for Valentine's Day, but I don't know. Maybe this will land in you guys' categories. But let's start with something
Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, it's your month.
I love this month.
It's the month of love.
I love it. As somebody with the last name Love, this has always been such a good month for me because I can get so much stuff with my name on it.
Oh, well, Olivia,
so good.
Do you want to start us off with something to do or experience this February in the Mile High?
Yes. And it's going to be on Valentine's Day because I said so.
Perfect.
Wow.
So we're going to go to the Teddy Cat Cafe in Denver. It's kind of over, I'm going to cut that out because I don't have any place markers. By Snarfs. That was not helpful.
Oh, is it in I think it's in Platt Park.
It's in Platt Park.
Yeah.
All right, there. We'll add that back in. So the Teddy Cat Cafe in Platt Park, they're having a tarot event on Valentine's Day at their cat cafe, so you can get your tarot cards read at the Cat Cafe. So their Cat Cafe is like a place where you can get warm drinks and hang out with adoptable kitties. And they're also going to do like tarot readings. So isn't that just the most like loving, awesome event you can think of to go spend Valentine's Day with a bunch of like eligible kitties and
It's also
warm drinks?
very
and
witchy. I mean, tarot, cats. We know
I love
we know
it.
cats are totally part of the witch world.
They
Another
also
level.
have like, oh my gosh, yes. And they also have a shop there of like cute cat stuff and also like home stuff. And I just think this would be so fun, especially if you're like, oh, if you're like feeling sad because you're not booed up on Valentine's Day, go over to the Cat Cafe and get your tarot read. Find out what's your fate for the rest of the year.
Teddy Cat Cafe on V-Day. I like it. Paul, what about you? Something to do or experience this February?
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, I think I have recommended the Bar Lake Bald Eagle Fest too many times, but that is a thing that I actually love to do every year. In February, it's a great opportunity to see like dozens and dozens of bald eagles just outside the city up near Brighton. That's a free event, family friendly. So that, that's a back pocket recommendation. The one I want to talk about this month is, Black History Month is this month. And Denver has a great museum for this. Black American West Museum and Heritage Center in 5 Points. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit different than it was before the pandemic when I went. Based on some of the Yelp reviews, it sounds like it's like more important than ever to call ahead. They're only open on Fridays and Saturdays around midday. It costs $15 to entry. And I really do recommend calling ahead and like arranging your visit, because the highlight here is the people that volunteer to give tours and to talk about the history. It's people who are like connected to these communities that the whole museum is about. And this house itself is history. This is Justina Ford's house, the doctor who delivered like 7,000 babies way like 100 years ago. It's an incredible story, and it's just one of many of the Black American Western history. And it's a great thing that we have here in Denver. If you've never been, there's no better time than now.
And they just dedicated a garden in her name at the museum.
To Justina Ford?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How about that?
Isn't that, this happened, I think, this week. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of those people where if you live in Denver for a while, you hear the name over and over and over. So go learn the story. Now's the time.
Yeah, I have a friend whose grandma was delivered by Justina Ford.
Oh, really?
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's like that to me is such a cool Denver tie if you have a connection to Dr. Justina Ford. But good rec, Paul. I haven't been there in a long time. I'm gonna have to go check out this garden too.
Bree?
How about you, Bree?
Well, my recommendation doesn't involve you to leave the house at all. There is a short film that you can watch on, it's called Max. I still call it HBO because I'm a million years old. But there's this great series on HBO of next-gen filmmakers. And there's a piece called Jack and the Beanstalk. It's a 19-minute short by Reagan Linton, former artistic director of the Family Theater Company. We've had her on the show before. She's incredible. And she did this new take on the Jack and the Beanstalk story, and she describes it as a worker who kind of pushes back against a more metaphorical giant. And the story is really about disability and employment, and how folks with disabilities are often paid sub-minimum wages, and how the workforce is impacted by how it employs or doesn't employ folks with disabilities. And it sounds like a bummer, but it's such a cool short film. What's really cool to me is not only did Reagan co-write it, but she really pushed for HBO to let her film it in Denver. So you'll recognize Sakura Square is like the main setting for this. And the actors are from Denver as well. Hannah Duggan from the Buntport Theater is in it. Stuart Tucker Lundy, my friend Kaylin Heffernan.
Oh, Stuart. He's great.
It's such a cool... I don't know. It's such a cool story, and it just makes it a little bit sweeter that it's set here in Denver and that it features, Denverites that are in the creative workforce here. Kaylin and my husband, Greg, Wheelchair Sports Camp, wrote the original music for it as well. So, yeah. And
how
Kaylin,
do I find it? It's on Max.
It's on Max.
What do I search?
I think it's like Next Gen Filmmakers is what it's called. And there's a bunch of shorts. It's like a series, and hers is one of those in the series.
Okay.
Put a link to it in the show notes, but it's a nice little 20-minute piece. It's feel good to me because it's about Denver but it tells this really cool story, and it involves people who are making art right here in Denver.
Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike Big Wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
Okay, our next category is something to eat or drink. Paul, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I've got a fun one. And I was not expecting to recommend something like this because I have not been so excited about drinking alcohol lately since the Surgeon General said that it was especially bad for you.
Oh, really?
I know it was. I've been having a weird thing. I don't know. My
didn't know
feelings
that.
about weed and alcohol are changing lately due to the health concerns.
Fair.
That's a different show. Or maybe just a private conversation for me and my loved ones. But
I'll
here's my
DM you.
recommendation.
I'm calling your wife. Okay.
Here's my recommendation. There's a great brewery out near Golden, just by North Table Mountain, called New Terrain Brewing. They have a beautiful outdoor patio, fire pits, heaters on the patio. So it's nice outside. You can go over there even though it's cold. Especially nice on a nice day, of course. But it's a great place to stop after a bike ride, a hike. That's not my recommendation. What's special that they're doing at this place, I learned this from the CityCast Denver events listings at denver.citycast.fm. They have been doing this special offering on Wednesdays. So the next one is Wednesday, February 5th, 5 to 8 p.m. I'm just going to quote from their website. I've never heard of this. See if you all have heard of this. Quote, "We will be heating up beer caramelizers, metal rods, in wood-burning fire pits in our beer garden. Those red-hot metal rods will then be placed into your beer for a few seconds so that it both caramelizes the sugars and changes the flavor while the foam rises. You'll end up with a cold beer and hot foam, and the contrast in temperature helps to provide a unique beer drinking experience."
This
Now-
is so wild.
Whoa.
I've never heard of anything like that. And like I said, not drinking a lot of beer lately, but this is the kind of thing that is going to lure me back. I love novelty.
Yeah.
I love new things.
This
Huh.
is
I watched these TikToks of people dropping these like metal balls that are like molten. They like heat them up and they drop them into like glasses of like hair gel or like liquid and stuff, and then they make
Uh-huh.
funny noises. That was my immediate thought that this was going to be. I was like, oh, it's going to make a farting sound.
I mean, it doesn't sound that far off. Who knows what kind of sound it makes? We'd have to go to
I
New
want to
Terrain
go
Brewing.
just to find out.
But yeah, they also do, they're doing free entry. So you just buy the beer and take it out back and they'll stick the metal rod in there.
Wow. That's not
It also
BYOR.
sounds kind of like social and fun. Like it might be fun to do with people. Or
it's like
new
a science
people.
experiment that you can do.
As
with
a
Yeah.
friends.
pyromaniac, I think I would like this.
Yeah, like-
I don't know if
heating
you'd
up
be
sticks with my
invited.
friends. I like
Um,
to heat up stuff. It's fun.
Okay, here's the best part. Free s'mores.
Ooh.
Oh,
They're going to have
yeah.
other stuff for you to roast on these
Buried
fires.
the lead there.
Can you
Paul.
bring
Free
other
s'mores.
stuff to heat up? I want to try
I
to
don't know.
stick other stuff in my beer.
Maybe you could bring some non-alcoholic beverages for them to stick red hot metal rods into. See what happens.
I want to bring some like little metal balls. Be like, can you heat this up so I can see how it sounds in my cup?
Who knows?
We need
I
to make
love this kind
TikToks.
of thing though. The innovation in the beer world, like much needed. It's a little
Wait, so
bit
it's
of a
only on
stagnant
Wednesdays?
market. Only on Wednesday evening, and the last one is this Wednesday, February 5th, 5 to 8 p.m.
My gosh, got to get there.
Wednesday evening. Okay. I'm just curious how they figured this out. Like who?
I know. Is this
So
some
weird.
tradition in some part of the world that I've
I
never
feel
heard
like it was
of?
an
I don't-
accident. That's all I can guess.
Like a smelting shop.
Like, oops. That's not the water.
Awesome. Okay, so beer experiments at New Terrain Brewing. I like it.
Nice.
Olivia, something to eat or drink this February?
Well, decidedly less. I don't know.
Pyrotechnic.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is what you make it, right? But you can take a lighter anywhere, can't you?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna roll up to. I think everybody knows of this place except me because it's been around for a while. But I just saw a really cool Instagram reel about it. I'm really just like falling for all of the Instagram bait, and I love it. But Williams and Graham, the cocktail bar, it looks so cool. It's like, for those of you who don't know, just like me, it's like kind of a speakeasy that's like hidden behind a bookshelf. It looks like you're going into like a bookstore, and then the bookshelf, like you pull it out and you go in and it's a cocktail bar, and it looks so classy and cool. And I'm just really trying to up my classy game. Unlike Paul, I'm not listening to the Surgeon General. I'm trying to go to more like cool cocktaily places and, get my drink on. So this place just looked very like classy and timeless. And I think it is. I mean, I think it's been around for like since before I was legal to drink. So I mean, that's not saying much.
I know,
I'm like
I was
12,
like,
but
so
2019.
I think you'll love it. I've been to this
It's
place.
cool.
It's very cool. It's like one of the best cocktail bars in the city.
It gets
for
so
sure.
many accolades. It looks really cool. So I feel like this is definitely a cold weather place too. It looks very cozy and like just good to go spend some time in like a little nook like this. So I'm definitely checking this place out while it's cold out.
I think it's down the street from the original Uncle location, and I've had a drink there
make a night of
before
it.
while waiting for my table.
Yeah.
And it was,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to time it right because I feel like you kind of sometimes have to wait at Williams and Graham too, but it is cool. It's a really cool spot. I feel like Speakeasy can be like oversold and then you're not like wowed, but this place, I was wowed. I was like, this is worthy of the Speakeasy title.
It does look cool. And I feel like they're really trendy lately, but this one just looks like what you expect a speakeasy to look like based on the Instagram video I saw, which does that take away from the speakeasy aspect? Maybe, but we're not going to talk about that because it lured me in.
Bree, something to eat/drink in February for you?
Yeah, so I've driven by this place a million times and I finally Googled it and was like, holy cow, how have I not been here? It's called Brockmeyer's Pretzels. It's a couple blocks off of, it's off Mississippi. It's like where Morrison Road, you'll know where this is, Olivia. It's like Morrison Road turns into Mississippi, just west of Sheridan. And there's just like this kind of random, it's just a random strip. It's like commercial and also just like residential housing. And then there's this weird building that many folks will know as the old Big Top buildings, which were these old convenience stores. There's a couple of them around Denver still. Snarf's is in one of them on the north side. There's a carniceria that inhabits one of them. And this pretzel place is inside this building. And that's why I wanted to go in there. I was like, oh, cool. Something's in this cool building. But I Googled it and it's this amazing homemade Bavarian pretzel shop.
Ooh.
So they make fresh, hot Bavarian pretzels, but they also make pretzel croissants, pretzel bagels, and they look awesome. And it's a little coffee shop. And it's only
What's it called again?
It's called Brockmeyer's Pretzels.
Brockmeyer's.
I love a pretzel.
And they're only open till like 2:00. It's like really a morning afternoon place. And I'm always driving by there at night. So I was like, oh, I have to go by. I haven't gone yet, but I'm a soft pretzel freak.
I
and
am too.
This place looks so good. So
Yes.
if you're a pretzel
I
guy,
need to know the pretzel hookups always.
yeah.
Looks like they got a lot of like brats, like pretzels wrapped around.
Yep, pretzel
stuff.
wrapped
That looks
brats,
good.
Wow.
pretzel wrapped hot dogs, cheddar brats.
Sticky bun action.
They have like a pastrami and maybe it's a Reuben on a pretzel rye, but it looks it just looks so good. I'm like, might have to go there later tonight, but I've just driven by it a million times and I admired the building, and then luckily inside of it is something even more awesome. So
I love when the outside is awesome and the inside is awesome.
seriously.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's just good.
Seems like a good fit too for the type of business.
Totally. It's a unique building, and this place really specializes in a really delicious kind of pretzel. So Brockmeyer's Pretzels is my recommendation. Also, I'll share a link in the show notes. They have a little link to someone who's written extensively about the architecture of this building. So if you're a weirdo like me and you want to know more about the Big Top franchise convenience store tent style building, you can click this link and read and look at original blueprints. It's incredible.
on the soft pretzel building beat.
All right, our final category is a hack. A hack, something that we can recommend to listeners to make your February a little more fun, a little easier, something that you do. Paul, do you want to lead us with your hack?
Mine, I think, is going to seem obvious, but like there's this Colorado stereotype of you going around in the winter wearing your athletic shorts and your flip-flops. You walk from your car to the store. You do your thing. You go back to your car. You go home. I just want to tell people, like, you don't have to do that. It doesn't have to be that way. My hack is get yourself a big-ass parka. Get a coat that feels bigger than you need. and then the outdoors is open to you again. I've been going on these long walks. I went out for this long walk to City Park. I had a whole ton of adventures over the weekend. I saw this guy doing donuts in an empty parking lot. It was amazing. I love going on long walks during the winter, and you can do it too if you get yourself a big ass parka. Also, this is a secondary hack, really for anybody. But my wife, a couple of years ago, when we were starting to do these like early morning winter walks to the local coffee shop, which is also another great Denver thing, she got a down skirt,
Ooh.
which
Wearable blanket.
it's like a wearable blanket. I've worn it a few times myself. I enjoy it. It's very
Yes.
nice. It's
Slay.
comfortable. And again, warm. Bring the outdoors back into your life in the winter. That's my hack.
This doesn't solve the flip-flop problem, though.
Well,
I'd recommend Uggs. If you
What
want
about your
something that
dogs?
slips on and
Your
off.
dogs are cold.
Slips on and off as easy as flip-flops. Uggs will do it for
Socks and flops.
you. Just saying.
yeah.
Try
Uggs,
Birkenstocks and socks.
a boot.
It's close.
I don't know. I guess this is more of an attitude shift than anything else, but just like going outside in the winter is okay. It's nice if you get the right clothes for it.
Get your money up.
Okay. Be prepared. Get a nice
Interesting.
jacket. Okay. Okay.
A big one.
A big one. A big ass parka.
The bigger the better.
Okay.
Nice. Well,
Olivia, what's your hack?
my hack is how to drink for free
Oh,
in Denver.
okay.
Wow.
And it's not
Be a
at your
lady.
friend's house. No, it's for anyone. So you're gonna go to this place called the Front Porch
Oh God.
because they have it's a place. It's a bar.
Oh, I know that
It's a bar.
too well from college. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a plate. They have a calendar, a monthly calendar.
Oh, they're still
that
doing it.
every day, except Wednesdays, they have a bunch of names on the calendar.
So Ashley, suit up for Monday because you get free drinks if your
if
name's
your name's
Ashley.
on the calendar, you can drink for free on that day.
Oh my God, time has stopped. They are still
They s-
doing that.
They still do it, Bree. They still do it.
I'm on the calendar right now. The name
There's
Bree
no
is
Paul?
scratched off.
Oh, I was going to say, Paul,
Bree
there were
has been
never any
banned.
Brees, let me tell you, surprisingly.
Well, actually, you can submit your name.
Oh, you can.
Yes,
That's an
You
upgrade.
you have to go in and write your name on the chalkboard, and then you wait for your name to be submitted. So if you have a weird name, that's probably what you have to do. But yes, so that's how you can drink for free. You go to this place, you wait, you look at the calendar,
Oh
and you
my
wait for your
God.
name to be on there, and you can drink for free. And also on Wednesdays when they're not doing that, this is not an advertisement for this place. I just found this out, and I think this is great. This reminds me of college. This is good. And on Wednesdays, you like flip a coin, or it's called flip day. And if you flip the coin the correct side, you get to drink for free. So there's a 50-50 chance of you drinking for free. So this is how you're going to drink for free in Larimer Square. You have to go to this place, but
The Front Porch.
this is your chance to drink for free. That's not at your friend's house.
I
And it's apparently an institution because Bree knows
Yeah,
what we're
Bree,
talking
tell
about.
Tell
I
us
mean,
about what it was like
it's-
going there.
It sounds exactly the same. This was 20 years ago when I was going there because all my girlfriends were bartenders in Lodo, and that's where all the bartenders would go when when they were done with their shifts. And I think they just drank for free because they were bartenders, and all bartenders are friends. But I got very hammered there for pretending my name was Emily or something.
And
I
you
don't know, you
can
probably just
too.
show your ID, but that's so funny that it's still going strong. And I'll tell you, it was a great place to drink if you want to drink.
Yeah, it is cheap. Even if your name's not on the free list, it
The flip,
appears to be.
yeah.
It appears to be very cheap. So if you want
love
to,
it.
if you want to not heed the Surgeon General's warning and do the exact opposite this month, here's a place to do that in an economic way.
I love it. Blast from the
Yeah.
past.
So that's my hack. Here's how to drink for free in February.
That is amazing. I'm
Yep.
impressed.
And it's apparently a long-standing,
still going.
long-standing establishment. So support a local business that has been in business for many. You can drink at the same place
I'm shocked that
Bree
this is still
Davies
happening
drank.
after
Bree
20
Davies
years.
drank here.
I know. I honestly, Paul, that was my reaction as well. I was like, "Holy cow, it's still going." The other places
yeah.
where I drank in such a way don't exist anymore. So it's good that it's sort of timeless in that way.
It's still here.
I like it. I like it.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll close this out with my hack, my tip. It's Girl Scout cookie season, and maybe I kind of struggle because sometimes my friends' kids have like grown out of selling Girl Scout cookies. I don't know where to get them. You can, stop by a grocery store, but there's a great list that this writer, Aaron Reed, put together of 2025 trans and non-binary Girl Scouts that you can order cookies from. And what's really cool is in the modern age, you can order cookies online from Girl Scouts across the country. So you can support them all over. And this list is just a list of Girl Scouts who are trans and non-binary who are selling cookies. And if you're not like familiar, or like I grew up as a Girl Scout, so I know like this is how we raised money to go on camping trips and stuff. So you can support Girl Scouts across the country by buying cookies directly from these trans and non-binary Girl Scouts. And I thought that was such a cool idea. You can spread it around, buy a couple from each of the girls and support the Girl Scouts. So that's my recommendation.
That is cool. I saw some Girl Scouts branded treats at the 7-Eleven yesterday.
That's so
You got a bag. It's like what you were talking about with the Attorney General the other day. I don't know the Trader Joe's version. I assume this is what you were talking about. But it's like the waffle cone ends with a little bit of like chocolate something inside. Yeah, it's a cool idea. They have a Girl Scouts branded one of these now. So you can also, it's, maybe not for a good cause, but they have them at 7-Eleven. I also thought they were only okay, but that's another thing Girl Scouts is doing.
Are you okay?
Damn, Paul.
That's part of the show now.
Ouch.
You can get these mediocre snacks at 7-Eleven.
Or
And they
you
may
can,
or may not be benefiting the Girl Scouts.
or you can order your Thin Mints directly from a Girl Scout and support their trips and activities throughout the rest of the year. So this was a big deal for me as a kid. Took a lot of effort on my part. And by that, I mean, I would dress up my little brother as a brownie Girl Scout and make him go to people's doors and ring the doorbell and sell my cookies for me
Oh, that's fun.
Wow.
That's so sweet.
in drag.
I never sold enough to get like the little stuffed animal or anything. I was never very good at the sales thing. I was always jealous of the girls who like their parents worked at big places,
The
so they could just
hustlers.
take the order form with them to work. My parents own their own company of like a small business, so it'd be like 3 people, including them. I'd be like, all right, this isn't gonna work.
Well, you can order directly from this list of awesome Girl Scouts all over. We'll put a link to that in the show notes. Also, we have our newsletter editor, Peyton Garcia, rounds up events every week. You can go to denver.citycast.fm, sign up for our newsletter. And if you become a member as well, you get a special events email every Monday that sort of rounds up everything that's happening that week. Because the other thing I wanted to shout out that's obviously happening this month is the Lunar New Year celebrations at like Far East Center. I'm definitely going to be there this weekend, but there's a ton of other stuff happening this month. So be sure to sign up so you can follow what's going on in Denver. Paul, Olivia, thanks for joining me.
Thanks.
Anytime, Bree.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell a current or former Girl Scout about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. And if you love the show, come see us in person at Heyday, an indoor fair with urban flair on Saturday, March 8th. Get your tickets now at heydaydenver.com. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See ya.
They should now, after they hear this, they should do a night with our names on it. That's what I would do if I was them. I'd be like, if I was them, I'd do the Paul, Bree, Peyton, Olivia night.